this. I feel like the sand that gets swept under the waves.
Oh wow.
Because it feels like
that was good.
In those moments, like when you think of like the way, like the sand, it's like when it gets hit with the waves of chaos or whatever case may be, it gets very weighty. Mm-hmm. Because sand in itself, like when I pick up sand, it was like, oh, nothing. Mm-hmm. But when it matched with the water, like the chaos, the muddiness, like when mud is heavy, like, and it's dirty, you know. So it's like, I just feel like sometimes, like, I feel like I'm losing footing, you know. Sometimes where I'm trying to stand on solid things, but it's like the chaos, the frustrations, it submerges me, and so like it's like the waves kind of like.
I think that's good.
Yeah. So I feel like the sand. Yeah.
You said something.
The sand that gets swept under the wave.
Yeah, but where I see what you're saying. Like you want to be able to show the conversation. Mm-hmm. So look, honestly, I'm just here.
Yeah. What I see, or like something that also. Ooh, just noticed this.
Outside in the gutter.
Oh snap!
Laying on the ground.
Yeah. But yeah, like something that always hits me. Because it hit me one day when I was praying.
Yeah.
This scenario in general happens a lot where I'm like talking to God and I'm just either I don't talk to him or like talk to him and I don't listen.
Right.
In the moments where I'm frustrated, it's because I'm either not talking to him at all. So how can I really get those type of answers or that dialogue that I really want if I'm not engaging in it? And then it was one day where I was praying. Literally, I wrote. That I was frustrated or whatever case may be, and I just felt like God wasn't there as much as like, oh, he's everywhere. It's like, okay, you're omnipresent, you know, that sound good that you're always there, but physically speaking, like I can't tell, I can't feel you, I can't sense you. Where are you at?
Right.
And he asked me, where are you at? Either like, you know, it's two scenarios. So it's like the first one was like God asked me that, you know, and then another time where I asked him the same thing, where are you at, God? It was just like where have you been? I've been here. It's just like, so it's just like
that's different.
Yikes, you know. So I feel like what I want to portray is like, yes, us talking, us being frustrated, us even, you know, expressing whatever it is we need to say, or being like, I really don't have the words to say, because that's okay too. Like not having the words, because people don't talk to God because they like, okay. I have moments where I do not talk to God because I don't understand what I'm feeling, and for whatever reason, I program myself to think if I don't have a fully thought out or formulated response or phrase, then I shouldn't say it. We think very like we think of God of like other people, like other people criticizing us or whatever, and it's like He's not gonna judge me for my incomplete sentence. Like he's not gonna judge me for a thought that I don't understand, because he does. So when I partner with him and I talk to him and I'm like, God, I don't understand what I'm feeling, he can tell me because he already knows.
He can complete the sentence. Yeah. That's so good.
It's not, with God, it's not a monologue, you know, it is a dialogue. We have the capability and the ability to talk with God, and other people don't. You know, like you know, like idols or whatever case may be, like you're talking at stone and it can't respond. Yeah. But my God, he can talk to me, and it's like sometimes we forget that too, the beauty in it. I've definitely wanted to kind of take all those lessons that I either learned or those things that I have to remind myself of, because I was there this like past week where I was like, dang, like God, where you at, man? Like, ooh. And sometimes the flesh side of things is like, oh, I'm longing for somebody, but it's like, no, I really want God, and I just don't know like how to hear him right now or whatever it may be. So yeah, I want to add that in there, like where he's like, where have you been? Like, where are you at? Like, where it says take heart, it's like trying to show you the good out of what you just said. Right. And so the one thing I said about this is the fact that they collide. And when you think of like, we think in one sense of like the waves colliding with sand, but when you think spiritually, it's like water and submersion. I mean, submerged, like being submerged with water is always represented as him. Right. Being so close, like literally he's here with you. Yeah. And so I feel like the one thing he's trying to say is like, daughter, take heart, like I'm the rushing water. Right. That's good. So it's like,
that's good.
Trying
to rushing water.
Yeah. I feel like what I want to get is like, yo, be real with God, be raw with him. You can ask him where he's at, but also be respectful to like take heed to when he's there, because he's always there. So it's like whenever we say where are you, it's not that he's left, it's that maybe our focus or something has shifted. Eat at you. So it's like the wearing away of that, and then it's like the sand that was once safe, and originally separated from the rushing waters that once looked so threatening. So it's like sand in itself, like when you look at it, it's like when it's at a low tide, it's like, oh, sand and water. But when it like comes up the high tide, it's like, oh snap, like so it's just like I just imagine like that moment of when it clashes and collides, where it's like this little piece right here was once safe from like what it could look so threatening, especially like if it's like rushing and like roaring like waves.
That's good.
And so it's like it always comes at that moment, because that the sand that was once safe and originally separated, that's like peace to me. That's what they represent. So it's like once I felt at peace, but there's like, oh snap, only to be submerged with the high tides of life. So there's still like the analogy of like waves and high tide, but it's like the high tides like of life, like the high demands, the chaos, everything that comes with being in this world, this broken world. So that's kind of like what I was like coming first.
That's good. That's really good. I like how you start with Abba too. So maybe you could restart with Abba and just like Abba, I don't know.
But yeah. At first, when I brought up like Matthew 6:25-36, where it talks about like not worrying or just different things of that nature, at first it was like with the mindset or the premise that I was gonna bring that up to God, like where it's like I take in the image of the birds, that they fly with so much freedom, and I was gonna go into talking about the passage of scripture, not necessarily like teaching it, but I was gonna just bring it up like something to the fact of like worrying or whatever. But I feel like that's a moment where God can interject his word. So it's like a moment where it's no longer like me like spitting out, oh yeah, like I consume this or whatever, this word, It's like a moment where he wants me to apply that word to my life. So because that like the high tides of life can actually cover all of it. Like the word, I don't have to say the word worry for him to say daughter, like so I feel like so that may be like a ongoing thing. I don't know yet, but like that take heart was just like prevalent. So I was like, daughter, take heart, in the rushing water, So maybe something else that he just says, but
so after you
wait a minute, hold on, wait. Because I scratched this out, hold on, but it just like gives deeper, like like this is literally like this is the entire process. This is like nothing planned, because I was trying to plan stuff. Like I was sitting over here like, okay, what? Like what I'm supposed to say, but literally like there it was like, oh, I'm looking at a lot of stuff. Okay. It's like, want this version of it or Matthew 25 and drink or enough clothes to wear. Isn't life more than food and your body more than clothing? Single moments of your life.
Bro, honestly, saying that alone, I think it's dope. Literally, like that whole thing, like that response right there.
Yeah,
is
like
beautiful.
It's straight
to the point.
It speaks already, like.
And I think too,
stillness of your
this
voice.
is a different meaning to that scripture too, because it kind of creates that conversation. Because when we read the Bible, a lot of times it doesn't. We forget that it's a conversation, that it's a response to our, our personal problems and our personal outcries. And so when we're reading the scripture, we forget that everything that Jesus and God is saying in the scriptures is a response to our own personal problem. So
I'm telling you, I feel this way about the sand being submerged and how life is just a lot. You're telling me that I'm also a lot. I can love you past all this. I can give you so much comfort and all these different things. And it's like he's saying, can you see me in it? Can you look out? Can you feel me in the midst of it? And it's like I look out. When I look out, I see the people that I can't reach. I see the people that I can't, connect with in this way. I see the birds who look more free than I feel right now. And that's what I see right now. And so it's like, I feel like that's the angle.
Wow.
It's like he's trying to get me to see that he's been there.
Right. The entire time.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see him the way that he's shown himself to me.
Right.
So yeah. Look out, people.
And then the scripture.
Visible but unreachable. I take in the image of the birds. They fly with so much freedom and zeal. In a flock surrounded by nothing but the stillness of your voice. Yeah. Matthew 6:25. Can all your words add a single minute to your life?
There. Or are you gonna?
But God, like, are you listening?
But God, are you listening? And said,
daughter, I'm just trying to meet you where you are. If you would just let me.
Sounds
if you
good.
would just let me. Okay. Okay. All right.
Say less.
All right. Let me.